Hello, everybody. My name is Leo Tenenblatt, and I'm Director of Product Management for the Analytics product line. I'm excited to be here today to talk to you guys about Analytic Snapshots, and I'm here today with Nick Wilson, who's Principal Business Analyst for Premier Support. And we're going to talk about advanced Analytic Snapshots and how you can use them to spot trends and make better decisions. So because we're talking about we're going to talk about some of the roadmap features, and these are future-looking statements. I just wanted to remind you guys that we're on the safe harbor statement, and that means that any future-looking statements are just that. They are future-looking statements, and any decisions that you make today should be based on existing functionality. With that aside, let's jump into the agenda. The agenda for today starts off with an introduction where I'll talk about the overall vision for the analytics at Salesforce.com, and I have some exciting developments that are going on here that I would like to share with you. Then we'll dive right into what advanced analytics means to us and how you can gather better insight to manage your business on a day-to-day basis. Then we'll talk about some features that have already been released that you can use today, namely the Analytic Snapshots and some custom summary formulas. And after that, we'll go through some demos here, which Nick will show to us, some real use case scenarios and some demos. And I would like to ask you to save your questions to the very end, where we'll do a live Q&A session. Okay, analytics. The overall vision for us is that to be very blunt, we have invested modestly in this area, but I'm excited to say that we are dramatically improving the investment that we're doing in this area. And so you have probably already seen some the increase in features that are coming out, and that will continue to grow as we go from the operational reporting that we have today into the more strategic decision-making tools that we would like to get to you guys in the future. And we're going to focus on 5 key areas of improvement over the several few releases that you see here. The first area is interactive query and reporting analysis, and some key examples of that, of one of the things that's on the roadmap here is a report builder, a new report builder. It's WYSIWYG drag and drop. Another example of something in this area is multi-dimensional drill, so that you can go from the very high-level analysis down to the very detailed level very quickly. The second area of improvement is information delivery and performance. And here are some examples are collaboration features, because we see that analytics and business intelligence is really a collaborative effort over various departments, and want to make sure that everybody leverages the Web 2.0 features that exist out there today to share information and get the insight of the group. On the complexity of question side, a lot of folks have asked for exception reporting to do things like, show me all accounts that don't have any opportunities. Today, that's somewhat difficult in Salesforce, but it is something that is on the roadmap. On the ETL and data access side, an example of something we have on the roadmap is being able to gather data from the outside, from outside of Salesforce, from like HR data or finance, so that you can view not only your CRM data, but view other parts of the business and see how that compares to your sales information. On the admin side, we're talking about creating features for admins to enable some of the features for end users, things like being able to set up a hierarchy of dimensions so that folks can do the multi-dimensional drill I talked about in the first item. So this is just a sample of some of the things that are on the roadmap. If you guys are interested in learning more about what's coming in analytics, I invite you to join us at Dreamforce, where there'll be a session just on the roadmap, probably in the admin track. So advanced analytics, what it means to us, it's all about gathering data about historical trends and combining that with information that you have available today to make predictions about what's going to happen in the future, so that you can make better decisions about your business today. And we aim to do this in a seamless way, so that you can spend less time on the reporting and get the information when you need it to make the decisions that really matter. So an example of something that we consider to be advanced analytics is using the Analytic Snapshots to do exactly what I just mentioned, combining past and current data. Nick is going to show us a couple of examples. Here we have just a couple of items here. For example, on the adoption side of CRM, if you can track how adoption is trending over time, you can understand where you're falling short of your expectations, and you can direct your attention to folks that that need a little bit of a push, let's say, so that you can improve your adoption and get better return on investment on your CRM tool. On the support side, one of the key things to look at is, for example, case aging, so that you can direct your resources to the right areas so that you can get a better customer service and faster customer service and improve the overall benefit to your customers. On the sales side, for example, pipeline, how that changes over time in age and in volume is pretty important, so you can direct your sales executives to the right deals and speed things up and close more sales at the end of the month. So these are just some examples of things that you can do with Analytic Snapshots. With that, let me just explain a little bit more what is an Analytic Snapshot. So it's a feature we released a few releases ago. And it as the name suggests, it allows you to take a picture in time of your data, and then you can combine these several pictures to form a trend of how things are going. So why is this important? It's important because today, if you're not using Analytic Snapshots, all you can look at is the picture of what things are today. So, for example, on a bank account, this is the equivalent of just looking at the current balance versus looking at the several balances along the several days of the month and seeing how things trended up or down. So with Analytic Snapshots, you can do that, and it gives you a lot of information that you can then apply to things today to make a guess as to where they might be going in the future. So to build an Analytic Snapshot, it's actually not too complicated. You have your opportunities. You can build reports on opportunities, and reports, or any report on opportunities or whatever other object, you can build a snapshot on and store that information into a custom object, and then you can report on that custom object much as you would any other object and see the information on a dashboard. So setting up a snapshot takes a little bit of extra time, but then once that's done, reporting on it is just as easy as any other report, any other object. So if your end users are familiar with reports, they should be familiar. It should be pretty easy for them to use the snapshots. So another thing I wanted to talk about today are data comparison functions. And the comparison functions, what they do is they allow you to compare different cells within a report. So that combined with the snapshotting capabilities allows you to dissect the information and get the changes that are happening from month to month or from week to week and get the trends that matter. These capabilities do not involve any code. I mean, there's a little bit of clicking and some formulas just as you would in Excel, so it's pretty straightforward to do and very easy and powerful. So the comparison functions I'm talking about specifically are called previous group value, or prev group val for short, and Nick is going to show us a little bit about how to use them. And prev group val in particular is for comparing data values at the same level of aggregation. And the second function I want to talk about today is parent group value, or parent group val for short. And that allows you to compare data at different levels of aggregation. So prev group val, for example, you would use for comparing period over period deltas. So sales pipeline from one month to the other, you want to see how it's growing or declining. That's the function you would use. If you want to look at one sales rep's pipeline or closed business as a percentage of his manager's total, then you would use parent group val because that compares different levels of aggregation. And just as a small note here, prev group val and parent group val are best leveraged in a matrix report, as Nick will show us in a bit. So with that, let me pass it over to Nick, who's going to show us a couple of real use case scenarios and some demos of this in action.
Okay, great. Thank you, Leo. I found that very informative, especially the roadmap piece. In any deployment, user adoption is a key success metric. Here's how to use Analytic Snapshots to trend login %. we take a weekly snapshot of the active users, use a field formula in the snapshot data to count if the user logged in during the snapshot period, and then a report formula to calculate the login percent. Let's jump into a demo.
Okay, Nick. So what do we have here? What kind of dashboard is this?
Leo, this is a dashboard that a CRM manager or maybe even a sales manager would use to see how their users are adopting Salesforce.
Okay, so walk me through the components. What are we seeing here?
So, Leo, in the first chart, we have login percent by profile. And notice along the bottom, we have the as of date, and that's not something we have standard in Salesforce reporting.
Okay, so that's how I know that this is a snapshot report and not a regular report.
Exactly.
Okay, excellent. So what's this first component here? Login percent by profile. What does that mean?
Correct. So in this one, we're comparing our sales users versus our sales management users.
Okay, and that's kind of weird here. The green line is all over the place. What is that?
Yeah, so it looks like our sales management users aren't logging in very much close to the beginning of the month, but they're logging in almost, actually looks like 100% for the last 2 weeks ending in July.
Oh, that last 2 weeks means refresh on the dashboard probably, right?
Exactly, making sure they close their business.
But why is it so low in the beginning? Is that something that needs some attention?
Yeah, we should probably have a chat with the sales management users to make sure that they're consistently managing their pipeline and just not focusing all of their efforts at the end of the month.
Okay. What about this second component here in the middle? What is that?
So now we've trended our users by our different sales offices or specifically states.
Okay. Now all the lines seem to be trending upwards except for this blue one, California. The Californians slacking off?
Yeah, it looks like we do have our California office as a low adopter, so we should probably have a chat with the manager of that office.
Okay. What about this third component here? This looks kind of busy. What does that mean?
Yeah, so in the final one, we are trending our login percent by role. And I know that our data here, we only have one sales manager per region. So let's go ahead and remove those to see if we can clean this chart up a little bit. And I'm just going to drill into the underlying report. And I'm going to add a quick filter. And I'm just going to click on the users I want to include in the report. And then I'm going to click on the drill down button.
Okay, so you've removed the sales managers. Now all we have are the reps.
Correct. We've just quickly added a filter without editing the report.
So that looks a little bit cleaner. And now I can see the trend. Again, all the lines seem to be going up except for this purple line, which is the West. So it's not just a California problem. It's a whole West problem?
It appears so.
Okay, so if I'm the CRM admin here, I'm going to have to go have a chat with the folks in the West. Is that what this is telling me?
Exactly, Leo.
Okay, that's good. So I can drive better adoption with these snapshots. What else? Do you have another demo for us?
Yeah, now we're going to take a look at some support effectiveness and how we would use snapshots to trend our case data.
Okay.
So, Leo, wouldn't you like to know how to trend, how your case age is trending, which agents are trailing the average, or which types of cases are taking longer to solve? Take a snapshot of the case lifecycle summary report and use a report formula to calculate the change over time.
Okay, let's show us the demo. So what about this dashboard? What kind of user would look at a dashboard like this?
So typically this would be a support management dashboard. We've got all of our agents here. Notice again we have the as of data along the bottom of all of our charts. And in the first row we're looking at all of our agents' average age, case age for the new status, and then the open status, and then the closed status. Okay,
so new is telling me the time between I guess the age here is between the case being created and it being looked at by someone? Is that what it is?
Correct. So it's from the time the case was opened until the status was changed from new to another status.
Okay, got it. And then the second case the second component in the middle is between open to closed. Is that what it is?
Correct.
Okay, and the closed case, is that the age from beginning to end? Is that what it is?
Correct. I believe so, Leo.
Okay. So walk me through the information here. What's the first component telling me? What's that green line standing up all the way at the top?
Yeah, so it looks like agent number 2 is trending quite high compared to all of their peers. So we should probably have a chat with them to see why it's taking them a lot longer to convert their cases from new to an open status.
Okay. What about the second component? The yellow line seems to stand out.
Yeah, it looks like we need to have a chat with Agent 5 to see why their open cases are trending higher.
Okay, and then the third component, the yellow line is like off the charts here.
Yeah,
is that
so it
the
looks
same
like
guy?
Yeah, unfortunately, it is Agent 5 again, so we definitely need to have a chat with them on their next one-on-one to see why their performance is not as good as their peers.
Is there any way we can get a little bit more information before we talk to Agent 5?
Yeah, so now in the second set of components, we've drilled right into Agent 5's cases.
Now, hang on a second, because you got different colors here, and the colors are very beautiful, but why is the grouping different, or what's going on here?
Yeah, so now we have just Agent 5, and we've grouped it by the status, and we've got the as of data along the bottom, so we can see for each status how they're trending over the snapshot periods.
I see. So the top row of this dashboard is all about, for a specific status, looking at all the various reps.
Correct.
And then the bottom row is about looking at, for a specific rep, what are the various statuses and how things are trending over time.
Exactly.
Okay, so what's that lower left component telling me? It looks like on the closed, it looks like a nice little ladder up there.
Yeah, so their closed case status, or their closed case age is trending upward for every snapshot period.
Okay. And then on escalated, I guess there's a big blip at the top, and then
so it looks like they have a lot of cases waiting in an escalated status. They're probably waiting on another department or maybe a QA or engineering group to look at the issue.
Okay, so that was about ages. What's this second component here on the bottom right?
So now we just wanted to also take a look at their count to see how many cases they actually have in each status for each snapshot period.
Ah, I see. So this is starting to make sense. So the case count for this Agent 5 on closed is like off the charts at the beginning of the month, and that kind of correlates with the age being really, really low. Is that what's going on here?
Exactly, Leo.
Okay, and then on the escalated, I guess there's just one particular case or just a few cases that I guess took a very, very long time to deal with.
Yeah, and that's why we're seeing their closed case trending upward.
Okay, this is great. Thanks, Nick.
Perfect. But now let's take a look at a sales effectiveness demo. Leo, wouldn't you want to know how your sales cycle is trending, or which reps are trailing the average? Take a snapshot of a stock opportunity summary report and use a report formula to calculate the change over time.
Okay, so you're going to show me how pipeline is changing, and is that what it is?
Exactly. So in the first row, we have the group average for the month of July for all of our different opportunity stages.
Okay, so that's that blue line on the leftmost component.
Correct. And then now in the following two components, we are trending the central AEs versus their peers.
Okay, so the middle component, the blue line now is the central AE, and the green line is, it says here, group average?
Correct.
Oh, so the green line represents the group average now?
Yes.
Okay, and what's the right component here? What's the difference?
It's the same, except it's just for the East AEs.
Okay, so the first component, just summing up here, the first component on the left is the group average. The second one is the group average versus central AE, and then the group average versus the East AE.
Exactly.
Okay. Looks like the group averages are kind of close to what the AEs are doing, so it doesn't seem like anything is off the charts here, right?
And it looks like everybody's quite close to the group average.
Okay, and this is an age and stock opportunities, right?
Exactly. This is the average age in each stage.
Okay.
So now let's take a look in the next row, and now instead of doing the age, we're now doing the amount.
Okay, so this is amounts, and again, it looks like we have the group average in the first component?
Correct.
Group average by stage. Okay.
And now we've also compared the central AEs versus the group average, as well as the East AE versus the group average.
Okay, same story here. Now the green line is the group average, and then the blue lines are central AE in the middle component and East AE in the right component.
Correct. So it looks like we have a bit of a problem here. We have both the central AEs and the East AEs really trailing the group average.
Yeah, that looks kind of weird. They're way below. Is it the problem with the reps, or is the average off?
I'm not sure, Leo. Let's take a look at the next set of components where we look at all of the users to see if we see any outliers.
Okay, so here again, it sounds like we got, is it average age it says again on the left? And so here you're looking at all reps in one chart.
Correct, as well as the group average, and this time the group average is orange.
Okay, so here we can see that all the reps are kind of close except for this purple line. Who's purple? Oh, Nick Wilson. And he's below the average. Now, is that bad or good?
Leo, this time it's good to be below the group average because we're talking about age, so it's taking me a shorter amount of time to move my opportunities through the different stages or through the sales process.
Okay. What about the bottom right component? What's that telling me?
Well, it looks like, again, I'm off the chart here with the dollar amount of opportunities I have in my different stages.
I see. So Nick Wilson, again, is a rock star. Is Nick Wilson then driving the average up? Is that why we saw that green line spike in the middle row?
Correct. So because I have a significant amount of opportunities in my pipeline, I'm driving up the group average.
Excellent. This is great. Now, what about the data comparison functions? Is there anything you can show me on that front?
Yeah, so let's drill into the amount by stage for all of our users. And you'll see here we have this new calculation called the week-over-week amount delta. And we've taken the previous group value, or the current group value, minus the previous group value to get the week-over-week amount delta.
I see. So we can plot, if we wanted to, just the deltas from week to week and see if that's trending up or down.
Correct. And we've also added some conditional highlighting because we've set a target for our AEs. We want them to increase their sales pipeline for more than 25,000 in each snapshot period. So
anything that's below 25,000 will be in red. Is that what it is?
Correct.
Excellent. Can you show us a little bit about how you built this comparison function?
Sure. So we're gonna customize the report, and then we're going to go into our columns to total, which is our third step. And we're going to see down here we have the week-over-week amount delta.
Okay. Can you explain to me the parts of this formula?
Sure. So I'm just going to go in here and edit it. And you'll see we have the sum of the current amount minus the sum of the previous amount, and then we're putting it in the as-of date grouping.
Okay, so we are comparing at the as-of-date level, and we're looking at the current amount the current amount minus the last date amount.
Correct.
Okay, excellent. Okay, what about the snapshot stuff? Is there anything you can show me on how I could build one of these snapshots if I wanted to?
Sure, we'll just take a quick look into one of the ones we used in the demo from the adoption. And you'll see I've chosen the source report, the user adoption report. And then we went in here and we've added our field mappings. So when you're creating an analytic snapshot, you get some default fields that don't exist in the report, like the execution time or the report name. So I've mapped the execution time to the as-of date that we saw along the x-axis of all of our charts. I've put on the login date from the user report into a custom field in the snapshot data custom object, as well as the report name, the user's email address, the user's full name, the user's profile, the user's role, and their state.
Okay, so in this diagram that you're showing me here on the screen, the left column is all about the fields that are available to me from the report?
Correct.
Okay. And then the right column, where is that coming from?
And then we're putting the fields from the report, or the data from the report, into the snapshot custom object.
So you had to create this custom object prior to doing the snapshot?
Correct.
Okay.
And as a follow-up to the presentation, we're going to send out an AppExchange package that you can install with all of the demos, as well as there'll be a step-by-step guide on how to create a snapshot, as well as the previous group value formula.
This is excellent, Nick. Thank you for sharing all this stuff. Do we have any more demos?
No, we're actually concluded our demos, and I'll just pass it over to you to follow up with the key takeaways.
Sure. So the key takeaways is that the analytic snapshots allow you to look at trends so that you can gather insights across the key areas of your business so you can make better decisions. So we showed that on the employee adoption side, how you can see who is not using the system as they should. So you can have a conversation with them and drive better adoption and therefore better return on your investment on the tool. On the support case side, we saw aging and how we look at trending of aging. Anything that's out of the norm, again, we can drive our attention to those customer service representatives and therefore put more resources where needed in driving better customer service. On the sales pipeline side, we saw how we can look at age and volume trending upwards or downwards and see who are the rock stars like Nick Wilson here, so that we can have him show the other reps how to drive more sales faster. So that's great, Nick. Thanks for all the demos, and thank you guys all for spending the time with us for this webinar. I just wanted to ask you guys to give us some quick feedback. There's going to be a quick poll here showing up on your screen in a second. And I wanted to invite you guys to join us for the next webinar that's coming in September. Look out for the invitation that should come in your mailboxes soon. And with that, I wanted to just jump into the Q&A and answer some questions live here on the call. Go ahead and forward any questions you may have to us, and we will try to address as many of them as we can here on the call. But rest assured that whatever we cannot address on the call, we will try to answer by email soon after the call. So I can see there's a few questions coming in already. Why don't I go ahead and start with the first one. The question is, it says, you showed me how to do week-over-week comparisons. Could you do year-over-year grouped by month, and how could you do that? The answer is yes, you can do year-over-year by month, and that's actually one of the key ways to use the Prev Group Val. Nick, can you actually show us really quick how one would do that? You had
Unfortunately, we're actually taking questions right now, so I can't show my screen again. But if you recall from when we were editing the formula, there's an optional parameter you can put after to change the frequency. So you would just put at the end where we had the as of date, you would just put a comma and then the frequency you would like. So if we wanted to compare year over year, we would change our report grouping from week to month, and then we would add a 12 at the end of our formula. So we're comparing January 09 to January 08.
Yeah, and just to clarify, so you'd have to have 2 years of data, or at least, I don't know, more than 12 months of data so that you can compare 1 month and go 12 months back to the same month in the previous year to look at the year-over-year comparison. There is a second question here that came in. How else are you seeing customers using snapshots?
So Leo, for one of my financial services companies, they load daily account balances into Salesforce. So we created a trigger to copy the previous value into another custom field. And then we created some formulas to calculate the change in percentage, and then we snapshot that data daily so they could trend the percentage change over time.
Okay, that's great. So the third question here is a separate custom object needed for each snapshot?
Leo, you could create a separate object for each snapshot. However, you should try, just to keep Salesforce clean, you should try to put as many as you can into the same object. And that's why I mapped the report name into all of the snapshot data. So on the underlying reports, if I was doing an adoption report or dashboard, I would filter only the ones with the adoption report name in the filter criteria.
Okay. And just to clarify here, because I don't know exactly all the context for the question, for each snapshot in time, it's still in the same custom object. But if you're looking at different reports, you could use different custom objects for each report. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So we're just trying to see if we have any more questions here coming in. Okay, so there was a question about how we download the Analytic Snapshot demo after the presentation today.
Leo, so there's going to be a follow-up email sent out to everybody that joined us today. with a link to the App Exchange package, as well as a link to the FAQ and the recorded webinar. And it looks like we have time for one more question.
The question is, how could you do quarter-over-quarter comparisons on the Prev using the comparison functions, Prev Group Val?
So again, Leo, that's where we go into the frequency. So we'd actually want to group by calendar quarter or fiscal quarter, and we'd want to use the increment of 4 to look at the previous quarter.
Okay, that's excellent. So we're having a few more questions coming in, but I'm afraid we're out of time. So we'll answer the remaining questions by email to those who sent those questions. I wanted to thank everybody for their time today, and I hope this was valuable for you guys, as it was for me. And we just want to remind everybody that the webinar was recorded, and it's going to be the link for that is going to be sent out along with the PowerPoint. And as Nick mentioned, some more information about how to download the demos that were displayed today, and a step-by-step instruction on how to create these snapshots and use these formulas on your own orgs. Thanks again, and have a great day.